It's The Boomer Show with Brian Christie. This is Terry Burhans along with Mario Oliveris and the Boomer Show Band inviting you to join Brian and his guests. Popular Hollywood character actor, the very funny Paul Ray. One of the biggest feel-good rock and roll groups of the Boomer era. We go on location with the Turtles. One of the top big voice singers in the country, multi-talented performer Victoria Robertson. And from the Comedy Store in the Improv, comedian Joe Charles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of The Boomer Show, Brian Christie.
Our next guest, an amazing singer and performer. She recently toured England, the Netherlands, Germany, and Greenland. Her new album is called Say New You. Please welcome the lovely and talented Victoria Robertson. Yeah.
That was, of course, from Phantom, obviously.
Right. I was trying to tie in something with a baby boomer, as my family actually was born just towards the end of the war. My mom and dad.
1922, I think that was.
Oh. They actually, it's a excellent story about how my dad was born. I know Andrew Lloyd Webber, by the way. You know, he's kind of in the baby boom generation.
Yes, he
Try to tie something in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my dad has a fantastic story.
Really?
Yeah, he was actually born on a ship escaping Singapore during World War II. It was a ship for women and children only.
Really?
And my grandparents were living in Singapore, and everything got bombed, and the women and children were shipped off, and my grandmother was pregnant and had my dad on the ship.
Really?
And all the ships were being bombed,
Right.
by the Japanese, and their ship was called the Empress of Japan. And since the Japanese are very superstitious, we believe that's why that ship didn't get destroyed.
Wow.
And so his passport says place of birth, and it says at sea.
At sea. Very nice. Wow. Now, I've got to ask you this. You are marvelous. You're just a wonderful, wonderful singer. How long have you been doing this? Probably all your life, right?
All my life. Ever since I was really little, I loved to sing. I was the type of little girl that would be singing around the house all the time and did the church choirs, and actually got into musical theater. I chose a musical theater selection because I do a lot of different styles of music.
Well, I notice you do opera. You do everything. I mean, you do. Now, this CD is electronic pop, correct?
Yes, yes.
So this is completely different from what we just saw. But you do a little musical theater.
Yeah.
You do opera. You do electronic pop, right?
Yes, and the challenge is to try to bring all those genres into one. It's my big challenge. So, actually, one of my kind of idols is Sarah Brightman. I like to watch how she crosses over from opera, musical theater, and now she has all these electronic beats in some of her songs. I'm trying to take, play off of what she's already started and do it in a little more contemporary fashion. And for some younger crowds, get some younger people interested in opera and try and sing some opera to techno,
Well, how would you put rap in there? I mean, how are you going to do the rap thing, Victoria?
You probably, I don't know.
You don't want to hear me rap.
And you don't want to hear me sing, so we're good.
Now, I have to tell you all something. Victoria, producer, is the producer for the Rolling Stones.
Right, well...
Yeah. This is Alan Sanderson, right? He produced the Rolling Stones and Elton John.
Well, I better just jump in for a second, because a lot of people will, if this isn't actually correct, there might be some people out there going, hey. But he was the engineer on the albums for Elton John and Rolling Stones. So he was working with Don Was. Of course, Don Was is the big name.
The big guy.
And he was the engineer that got all the sounds, worked with the guys. Keith came down to record at his studio in San Diego.
Oh, wow.
And that was really fun. I got to meet him, and
so cool.
Yeah.
So
really fantastic,
now the title on this new album here is, I love the picture on it, by the way, the cover.
Thank you.
This is called Say New You. Now, tell me, where did the title come from?
Well, it came from a couple things. First, since I do all these cross genres, this was sort of a new development for us to put together the electronic elements. So, obviously Say New You, it's something that's fresh and different for me. But actually, we just were going through a magazine, and we saw an article entitled Say New You for a hair salon. And we said, oh, that's a good name. And, it's, you never know how you come up with these names. The Turtles were saying,
Absolutely. You just never know where these things are going to come from.
Yeah. But it's really fun because I do have the opera background. I sing with San Diego Opera here, and I perform with the San Diego Symphony and La Jolla Symphony, and
so you do a lot of opera. A lot of
opera stuff. But when I've toured with the USO, singing for the troops, that's when I would do a cross. Sometimes I would sing patriotic songs in this classical style. But that's when I got the band together, so we could appeal to kind of the younger troops. And that's when, that's when we went on our tour. And
you have this other album. Speaking of that, and these are songs that are patriotic, right?
These are all patriotic songs because I do a lot of singing for the troops. I was actually titled Miss USO for a long time because of the volunteer work that I did singing for the USO. It's just something that I think that's everybody terrific. Has what they love to give back, and that was my thing.
I think that's absolutely wonderful, and I want you all to know that this album, the Say New You album, won Best Record of the Year from the LA Music Awards. How about that? Huh? Congratulations. And they can get this on VictoriaRobertson.com, right?
Yeah, please visit. Yeah, that would be great.
Please visit. The wonderful Victoria Robertson, everybody. Yeah, very nice stuff. All right, stay right there. Comedian Joe Charles coming up right away on The Boomer Show.